The topic for discussion is there are several definitions available in different books, in different research papers, and from the scholars. But we shall start with the layman definition, a definition which is common or which is sensible to every layman, in the sense that research is a systematic process to solve problems and address issues. When we say systematic, it actually means scientific. But in social research, the word scientific is not used. Instead, we use the word systematic, which actually refers to the same thing which happens in the scientific research. Systematic means predefined steps and predefined outputs of every single step. Some scholars say that the third step in this regard is that the researcher or the worker, he will not go to this next step unless until the output of the preceding step is recovered. So once you get the output of step 1, then you proceed to the step 2. We said that systematic process to solve the problems and address the issues, but this happens only when there is learning, meaning that research is a systematic learning process and learning leads to understanding. And once the things are understood, then it is possible to solve the problems and address the issues. The word issue requires some more discussion. Issue simply means the critical factors are important variables, attributes, in the phenomena. For example, when we say that disease is a problem, while health is an issue. So when we say that research is systematic, it means that the research must also include the predefined steps and predefined outputs. Predefined steps in the research process. There are 4 commonly understood, commonly discussed steps of any research, particularly social research. And the first step is topic selection and formulation. Data collection, data analysis, and documentation. As we said, that systematic means that the activity must have predefined steps. Actually, this is the plan of the research. Then we said that systematic also means that every step must have predefined output, and once the predefined output of every step is received, then you move forward to the next step. The output of these steps will be the topic selection and formulation results into a research project. Data collection will result into data. When we analyze the data, then the result is information. While the documentation, it results into a kind of report which is called thesis, article, or some other format. So research is a systematic process. Why do we perform it systematically? Because the professionalism requires that the research is a scientific activity, then it should be followed and it should be worked on scientifically as well. So in social research, scientific simply means that you behave in a particular manner according to the standards, according to the guidelines of the researchers. And we said that systematic refers to the availability of predefined steps and then the output of every single step. And you do not go to the next step if the output of the preceding step is not there. If there are weaknesses in the output of step one, then the same weaknesses will magnify. If you go with them without resolving them, then the problems will become bigger and bigger, and the research process, it will be marred, or it will be doomed to not to give those results or those answers which were expected from the research. Now, we said that these are the outputs of research. Let's have a brief definition of each of these. Research project, in other words, it is a research plan. It is a roadmap. It is a mind map. And it is a kind of theoretical framework. The word theoretical framework says the framework made of theory, the framework which is actually representing the theory behind the topic, and that is developed on the basis of preliminary research. As we said, that these steps are created and that these outputs are defined. All this happens in the background of preliminary research. Or we also call it mini research. And this mini research aims at producing an effective research project which really guides with regard to the data collection. And then the project must include all the tools and techniques or the methodologies that will be used to convert the data into information. And then there will be a clear-cut plan that how this information or how the findings of the research, it will be documented, presented in a particular template. So when we say preliminary research, it means that before the development of a research project, the researcher conducts mini research, which includes literature review, and pilot study. As it is a common saying that the researchers are not supposed to reinvent the wheels. They are supposed to go through the existing research, get hold of the existing research, and then they have to start from where the existing research ends. So in the literature review, if you find that there is no enough material or the relevant material is missing, and we also have to collect some information from the field. because every research is about a sample or about a particular community. So if that research is about a particular community and you think that the literature available on the topic is not enough to help you to develop a sophisticated project, then you also add to the literature review a field study. Pilot study means mini field study, that the researcher visits the real world respondents. The researcher contacts the respondents and asks them the questions which in the field study we conduct the sample of the sample. According to experts, the mini field study should be conducted out of at least 30 respondents, and it should be 30 in social research. So mini field study or the pilot study is conducted only when you find that the existing literature is not enough or it is not guiding you with regard to all the variables and their interactions. Then you go to the real people, the problem of which you are addressing. You ask them that according to literature, your topic or your issue actually includes these variables. So do you think that there are more problems than this? So if they give you 2 or 3 more variables or the connections between the variables, then we shall include it into our theoretical framework. So in this way, the research ends with the topic selection and formulation basically ends with the research project, which contains the plan of the research of the main study, and then it also guides the researcher how to start and where to start and how much time it will take. Before closing our topic, let me explain two things: data and information. We said that data simply refers to those facts and figures which are not actually organized according to the requirements of the user. So that is called data. Well, when we process the data, meaning that we organize it and reorganize it and keep on organizing and reorganizing till the level where we think that the data has been converted into meaningful facts and figures, and now they can be used for communication. So that is the end of the first lecture.